The power of believing in God's abundance. Believing in God's abundance is one of the most powerful mindset shifts a person can experience. It moves you from a place of fear, doubt, and limitation into a life filled with faith, confidence, and opportunity. When you trust that God's resources are limitless, you begin to live with boldness, generosity, and expectation. You no longer see the world through the lens of scarcity, but through the eyes of divine provision and endless possibilities. A scarcity mindset tells you that there is never enough. It makes you fearful of losing what you have, hesitant to take risks, and resistant to generosity. This way of thinking leads to stress, competition, and a life of struggle, where success seems rare and blessings appear to be reserved for others. However, God's abundance teaches us that He is not limited by earthly resources, economic conditions, or human expectations. His provision is infinite, His blessings are overflowing, and His plans for us are always for good. When you shift your mindset to abundance, you stop focusing on what is missing and start seeing what is possible. You recognize that opportunities are all around you, waiting for you to step out in faith. You understand that setbacks are not the end but setups for something greater. You no longer envy the success of others because you know that God has more than enough to bless everyone. You become a giver, not just a receiver, because you trust that what you release in faith will return to you in greater measure. This shift in thinking changes every aspect of life. In finances, you stop living in constant fear of not having enough and begin to make wise, faith-filled decisions. You tithe, knowing that giving to God multiplies your blessings. You invest in opportunities, understanding that God rewards those who trust Him. In relationships, you stop operating from a place of insecurity and competition, and instead you build others up, knowing that God's favor is unlimited. In your career, you stop feeling stuck and start believing that God has greater doors waiting to be opened. God's abundance is not just about material wealth. It is about living a life filled with peace, joy, love, and purpose. When you trust in His limitless provision, you begin to walk with a new level of confidence. Fear diminishes because you know that God is your provider. Worry fades because you trust that He is always working on your behalf. Your faith unlocks miracles, and your gratitude attracts even more blessings. Jesus said in John 10:10, "I have come that they may have life and have it more abundantly." God's plan has always been for His people to thrive, not just survive. When you believe in His abundance, you position yourself to receive all He has in store for you. Choose faith over fear, abundance over scarcity, and trust that God's provision is always more than enough. The more you believe, the more you will see His blessings overflow in your life.